Yeah, I just have a quick little one here, just because this has been all over the news too, the 17 diaper mom. And I don't know if either of you have heard about this. RFM, when I was trying to discuss it, said, I don't want to know about any diapers. Not one, not two,
Certainly not
3.
17 of them.
Especially not 17 of them. So this was a viral video that came out a month or so ago with an influencer named Hannah. And she put out a video in which she walked around her house. She was doing some single parenting that day. Her husband was off at jury duty. She had a newborn and she had a toddler. And she walked around her house, kind of got real with everybody and said, I have 17 dirty diapers laying around my house, right? She's picking them up. She's putting them in the bag. She puts
that doesn't happen unless you want it to happen, does it?
You know, I never had any dirty diapers laying around. I was very hygienic.
I mean, these two kids are keeping you so busy that you don't have time to put your dirty diaper that you just took off your kid and presumably wipe the kid into a bag.
There's some pictures of the diapers on the coffee table and on the kitchen table and all kinds of places around the house. And again, it was not my experience as a mom, but whatever. But this resonated.
Not bad either.
Again, maybe in the comments, somebody tell us, did you have 17 dirty diapers laying around? But the reason it resonated with moms is because she said, if you're a solo parent out there, a solo mom, a solo dad, single, solo, or whatever it may be, double pat on the back. I commend you because I sure as heck can't do it, she said. So she's admitting this is hard, right? Most influencers are out there perfectly groomed, perfectly dressed, floating around their house with 27 kids. She's saying, no, this is really hard, and I've got dirty diapers laying all over the place. In her video, Hannah Hyatt explains that she recently had to act as a solo parent. Her husband was doing jury duty. I was supposed to do it for like 3 or 4 days. Luckily, it was only 1 day. Being a solo parent just for a day, it's freaking hard, she said. How do you guys do it? So everybody instantly fell in love with her, right? Because she's talking the real talk. She's telling it how it is. She was brave enough to come out and say, we're not perfect. And it's so hard. That's kind of the theme of our podcast, isn't it? It's so hard. So anyway, everybody loved her, and she has a lot of followers, and she has a lot of other videos about her children, her newborn and her little son, where she just goes around and does daily things. So what happened next? Moms started, of course, really loving her and talking about their own difficult experiences and getting real and getting things off their chest. And that was great, until they started paying attention to some of the videos that she was posting about the interactions with her and her husband and her son. And then people started to get a little more concerned, maybe judgy, maybe seeing things that they didn't necessarily think were correct. And I've seen some of the videos that were pulled, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So she posts under a handle, Hannah Hyatt. She has 400,000 subscribers on TikTok. So what happened is that there was a TikTok post, which has since been deleted. It featured her 2-year-old son and the interaction with her husband and the 2-year-old. Now, the 2-year-old was in a shopping cart, in the part where you sit and your legs are sticking through, you're holding onto the bar. They're in the frozen food section, and the dad kind of tosses or hands or puts close to the 2-year-old's face a box of something from the store. Like, here you go. Well, the child goes like this. Okay. It's called the flinch, right? Like noticeably, with kind of a look in his eyes that's like scared, like this. So other moms on TikTok said, okay, that's not a great reaction. If your dad comes near you and kind of hands something to you, that you go like this, as if you're used to being hit, is what people are alluding to. And so then people kind of turn on Hannah, and they're like, this is a problem. They start calling. The reason we're talking about her is because she lives in Ogden. And the first time I heard about her, a friend of mine from Nauvoo reached out and said, is she a Mormon? And I found a bunch of her other videos where she said she's a proud Mormon, proud LDS. She has several videos where she comes out with a lot of hate for the single or the secret lives of Mormon wives, says those aren't real Mormons, that kind of thing. She's a proud Mormon. But now here we have people getting really concerned about her son, and also making the connection to Ruby Franke, Jody Hildebrandt, the same kind of thing. People from out of state are going, what the hell is going on in Utah? What is it with these moms and their kids and, this kind of behavior and treatment? So many people are calling the Department of Child Protective Services on Hannah in Ogden. Other moms took to TikTok and started making their own flinch videos, meaning that they had their child sit there and they would hand their child something and their child would laugh or their child would play. They didn't flinch. And the point being that they were trying to make was a child has that reaction if it's a learned behavior, because in the past, sometime a parent reaching out means something painful is going to happen. You might be hit or something. So again, it's just become this whole thing. And the bottom line is, she's now had to come out and say, in the video, you guys are all freaking out about, they're just playing. She added, they're always playing. And she's talking about her husband because he's the one that handed the box in the grocery store that caused the flinch. They're always playing where they can scare each other. And that's what they're always doing. Nothing's going on. From the moment that my husband wakes up in the morning to the second he goes to bed, he is only thinking about our children and our family and what is best for us. So she's coming out and saying nothing is going on. The other moms on TikTok are saying, we're worried. We don't like this reaction. And the bottom line is, we don't know, but it has been turned over. It's now an official case for the Department of Child Protective Services in Ogden, and they're going to be looking forward. But I guess the reason we cover it is because probably a lot of you will be asked, oh, do you guys know about the 17 diaper? Because it's a Mormon thing again, right? A Mormon mom. People are concerned about abuse, and they're saying, what the heck is going on in Utah, right? So I don't know. Had you guys even heard of this story?
I had not. One dirty diaper is one thing, two's another, but 17 dirty diapers lying around the house is suggestive of coprophilia in my book.
Which is?
Google is your friend.
Uh-oh.
I'll just second, not the philia thing, but I'll just second the 17 there's 17 dirty diapers in a house with not 13 kids.
Yeah.
That would make sense. If it's just like it's the Duggars, minus all their problems. If it's the Duggars, you go like, okay, I get it. That makes sense. 2 kids, right?
Yeah. A newborn and a 2-year-old.
Yeah. 17 dirty. Again, I was never going to be up for Father of the Year. My kids didn't flinch, and there was never 17 diapers around the house. And if you found 17 diapers in a home with 2 kids, sure as hell, there's other problems in that house. Again, my 2 cents, that just seems entirely telling of other issues going on within the walls of that home.
And speaking of other issues, Rebecca was very, very clever to note that when this gal says about her husband, Hyatt said her husband is the sweetest, nicest, kindest, most loving.
Yes.
That nicest is actually an acrostic for something. What was that again, Rebecca?
Well, I believe that you were the one that brought that up, and I would never bring that up. But yes, RFM was playing word games for sure. But again, we're not going to make a judgment here. We're just going to say it's been turned over to DCF, and she is a nurse also. I should have brought that up too. Her profession is that she is a nurse. So anyway, just another Utah-centric story, but she definitely makes videos saying she's a proud Mormon. She doesn't approve of the kind of women that are on The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and doesn't know how they can show their face in church and, have their behavior that they have on the show. So she's definitely opinionated about that.